analyze this topic, the channel, man, I need you to click the subscribe button, like, before you do anything else. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here with one of my good longtime friends, man, the captain of the Black Rider Liberation Party here in Oregon, the Northwest. He's holding the region down. Mr. Captain Ogun.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it, man. Let's have a talk, man. Let's have a talk.
Oh, yeah, we here.
I've been you for a while, bro.
Yeah,
I see you busy, man.
Yeah.
Helping the community. You know what I'm saying? Actually, that's why I got you here, man.
Absolutely.
The platform is about, furthering the culture. You know what I'm saying? It's about, having a voice for the underprivileged and the underserved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Out
absolutely.
here that's, fighting fires. I don't want to wait till you
Disenfranchised,
dead. I don't want to wait till you dead to, glorify what you're doing and making sure that
Absolutely.
people know. So,
Absolutely.
without no further ado, man, talk to me. What's going on, bro?
Man, just a whole bunch of it and a whole bunch more of it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We just trying to make sure that the movement is moving in a positive direction. That is, people out here actually putting their theories to work, because that's what it's about. Everything that we do is a theory until we put it into practicality. You know what I mean?
So what is the movement? Like, break it down. Like where the name originate from? I need to know all the details.
All right. Well, Black Rider Liberation Party started in 1996 out of the YTS prison population in LA. So out of California, we know that if you ever seen a documentary of bastardized bastards of the party with Bone, or people know Clee Bone from Training Day. Okay. He took you through a whole scenario, or took you through a timeline, I should say, of from when the Black Panther Party disbanded to what happened to the culture, what happened to the babies of this. You know what I mean? And then he takes you through that whole scenario, and you realize that, the gangs and so forth, different factions start breaking off because these were the bastards. These were the babies who were left from their fathers, either went to prison, which you still have a lot of political prisoners behind the wall. Free Mumia, free Mutulu, Sekou Odinga, he just got out, you know what I mean? So,
man, they still got him locked up.
Still got him locked up, you know what I mean, with bad health and so forth. We got a lot of political prisoners still behind these walls. I was going to be a political prisoner myself, you know what I mean, dealing with some situations with the Federal Bureau of Investigation as well. But
what happened?
Yeah, man, like last year of 2018, July 3rd, the feds raided my house.
What?
And they came in like, 6 in the morning. They had ambulances on the scene. It must have been like 80 of them. I'm not even trying to exaggerate, but they was ready for something, you know what I mean? But they said I was underneath investigation, indictments for 3 years. For 3 years. So it was like a secret indictment against me, you know what I mean? But the only thing they came after was because they said it was like a felon in possession of firearms. All because I was educating my people and educating my children on how to use firearms.
Are you an ex-con?
I am not an ex-con.
Okay. Right.
That's the thing. Right. So they came in, they took, a whole bunch of firearms and some other stuff, you know what I mean? So time goes by, they realized they couldn't charge me with anything, and then they end up having to get everything back. But that also still shows me that I'm still a slave in America.
Hello.
At any point of time, my stuff was confiscated. It was, I could have been subject to kidnap. My family was subject to this terroristic act of coming in with flashbangs, all because of pictures of training. Not me saying I'm threatening nobody.
Right.
Me saying I'm about to go do something, no manifesto, no extra nothing. They came in my house because of pictures. You know what I mean? So, like I said, the Black Rider Liberation Party spawned from this type of still behavior that still goes on, because we still recognize that this can happen.
Absolutely.
If you choose to educate your people about certain things, things still can happen. Woo. Whether or not they feel like it's justified, they got enough means, they got their T's crossed and their I's is dotted, they still feel like they can come in and do what they want to. Domestic terrorism. When they want. I always say America create terrorists.
Right.
We talk about terrorists over here. They want to build the border. Last I checked, ain't been no Hispanic active shooters.
Right.
All this active shooter stuff been going on. You know what I mean? It hasn't been like a big wave of them. And we still talking about who's going to come here and do harm to us, when we're literally, the America's wool is getting pulled over their eyes.
Distractions.
You know what I'm saying?
What they do.
You can't hide it no more.
That's what they've been doing.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing. But they focusing with media and propaganda to make it seem like, well, we got to be careful of these hands up, don't shoot. We got to be careful of the Black Panther Party. That's the greatest, J. Edgar Hoover said, that was the greatest threat to national security. Because we was building programs. It was the greatest threat to national security. The first thing the feds hit with the Black Panther Party was the free breakfast program. They didn't get caches of guns. They didn't go find a whole bunch of people robbing banks, bust up in there when they trying to figure out how to plan a heist. They burned down Syria.
Basically, if I hear you, they considered active terrorists because they was educating us.
Absolutely. And the masses, absolutely.
Wow.
They empowered the brown people.
That's deep.
Our brothers and sisters, and they created the Puerto Rican faction of like the Black Panther Party, you know what I mean, which was the Young Lords. That was the Puerto Rican section. Then you had the Asian Pearl. We had Asians wearing black berets. People don't know one of the main founders and how the party got their arms was Robert Aoki, which was a Asian man. Put on a black beret. You know what I'm saying? Was underneath federal investigation as well. So a lot of people don't know it was white Panthers. We was accepting to white people at that time because it was white people who were still at this day and age too tired of white people shit. You know what I'm saying? So they created the White Panther Party. It's just that
I love white people. I love white people.
White people is cool. They cool.
Yeah,
they cool
in certain sectors. You know what I'm saying?
In certain sections, you know what I mean. But we have to also know that internal racism is still embedded in them. Just don't put that out your mind. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Because
you believe that?
I believe it.
You think all white people? I can see like their grandparents, but I'm talking about like I say like the next generation. Like I say like anybody like 20 and under white. I don't think that. I mean, I don't know. There's some people that can have issues, no doubt.
Yeah,
I don't think so, bro. Because
you believe pathology is real?
Do I think what?
Pathology is real. Scientifically, breaking down, do you believe that whatever your father and your mother was dealing with at that particular time could be passed down through that baby?
Absolutely.
So if we talking about pathology, I have a grandmother that is 92 years old. That means for sure her mother was a slave. Do you believe that pathology could be passed down to me, the traumatic stuff that they seen?
Passed down, yeah. I mean, I feel like, you know, from one generation to that next generation.
Just certain little character traits.
I believe that it waters out, though.
It does. It could water out. So, at some point, it will water down.
It should.
So for us, we only going back 2 or 3 generations. For them, it could be watered down because they're talking about great. Right. I always did an experiment in a room. I have a room full of black people and tell them, raise your hand if you know your grandmother. Raise their hand. Raise your hand if you know your great-grandmother. Raise their hand. Raise your hand if you know. And I'm talking about know where they came from, who they messed with, what kind of school they went to. Know if you raise your hand if you know your great-great-great-great-grandmother.
I'm down.
Damn.
I'm down. She was gone.
She was gone, right? Your great-great-great-great, whatever, going all the way back. We got white people today in America can raise their hand back to 8 generations back. And usually that 8 generations back, pathology is passing down racism to a certain degree.
That's deep.
So when I say inherited by internalized racism, is that they have racism that they don't know they have.
Right.
All their school system was taught to empower them with Christopher Columbus and so forth. But they're not telling you that his navigator was Pedro Alonso Nino, which was a Moor. So if he had the map to the land, you have to assume that he know how to navigate the land.
Wow.
If they're traveling in boats, who has the docks that the black man is boat?
You already know. You know the white people ain't rowing.
So
they got
told
slaves
you
and colorful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, y'all rowing, family.
Yeah. So it would tell you not about Pedro Alonso Nino because that would empower you. So they gave you the story to empower the white person. So no matter if they are some odd generations down, they still got little systems in play to empower them to a form of racism that they don't know.
This whole platform for me is therapy, bro.
Yeah.
I needed that right now. That's big. That's big, bro. That changed my life.
Yeah.
Real talk.
That's what it's
changed
about.
my life.
It ain't no hate to nobody. It's just facts.
It's knowledge is power.
Right.
I can't never get around, I can't never get around knowledge, bro. So where you get your knowledge from? I mean, like, they don't just put this. They don't put this in the books,
They don't put this in the books.
In the books that we read.
Right. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. They don't put these in the books that we read. Where I get my information from, man, is really studying real history, historical documentation on things that happened that was with us.
Right.
Because they would love for us to believe that our life started as slavery. You know what I mean? Because that's what the books would teach us. They ain't teaching us about anything else. And I have to believe that you want me to believe that's where we. And if I believe that, then I'm gonna stay that.
Hello.
So I'll go back to like, well, I would put a question in Google. What would be the name of a black woman that is a queen that won battles? Just put those words in, and I will see what would happen. And a few things popped up. Harriet Tubman. One sister name was Queen Nzinga. She was a leader of an African tribe that fought the British, and she died. She fought well into her 92 years of age, and she died by her own accord. Now, I would ask, well, historically, how many men versus black women have died, revolutionaries? They have been more black men assassinated than black women. Black women have had more assassination attempts on their life and died on their own accord than black men have. Harriet Tubman, numerous attempts on her life. She died on her own accord. Queen Nzinga died on her own accord. You know what I mean?
How did Harriet Tubman die? I only know the story of her freeing the slaves.
Yeah, I want to say she just died of old age.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that is the type of stuff that I try to get into, because Marcus Garvey said a tree with no roots is like a people with no history. You know what I mean? You don't know where you at unless you know your roots. And they would like to say, like we just said, we just cut our roots down to 2 or 3 generations.
Man.
So how are you going to know who you are?
Absolutely.
You say internal racism, even with you, would be embedded in you because pathology is real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real. Hey, I stand corrected, man. Analyze this topic at gmail.com and join the discussion, man. I need to know what y'all think, man. Like, is he on to something? Is he telling me the truth? Like, I didn't know. I'm in my 40s, man. I ain't able to talk to my son like this, you know, and that's shame on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, that's big. Like, I can sit and talk to you all day, bro.
Yeah.
So how can the people follow you?
If you want to email us is blackrydahs1996@gmail.com.
That's him.
Yeah, that's
him.
the one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You really want to get involved and see what's going on. We got a numerous things going on around the town, from Black Community of Portland, which is a grassroots black organization that we go through and talk about different topics to further advance the culture of our people. You know what I mean? Whether that's farming. We got Mudbone Grown that comes through, gives us produce and so forth. You know, even though we do got food there, we just like a potluck style, and we sit there and we build. Man, we build with each other. We have to get back to planning and being around each other and enjoying each other's company.
You know, when you say get back to, like, that's like, it's already like, we mean get back to what generation was we doing that in? Because that ain't us.
Nah, that wasn't us.
It's always been some kind of hate.
Civil rights. We ain't had no choice.
Yeah, right. We got to band together. So is that what we got to do?
It was only us.
Black Lives Matter. Only Black Lives Matter when somebody else is killing us, man. But with us, it don't matter.
It don't matter. And then at some point, generational wise, that it was a very big disconnect from things that matter. And I think that becomes a lot of like inherited, like I said, racism as well, because
so you believe black people can be racist?
Black people are absolutely racist. I'm racist.
Right.
But what I don't do is have the power to have racism, because what we're going to do is talk about the suffix "ist," it at the end of that, right? You know what that is?
No,
that's no different than a violinist,
right?
A pianist.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That is just being proficient in one's field. So it should be nothing wrong with me being a racist. We just got a condemnation because of what they did, and they had racism. Racism is the act of being bigotry, an act of hate, and say that you, because of the color of your skin, you cannot do this.
Right.
That is what.
So you saying that I can be racist, but not.
You don't even have the power to invoke racism.
Right. Right.
You can't make no white person do nothing and sit in the back of the bus. Not today, not by law. And if you don't listen to me, then you gonna go to jail.
But let's do it like they did us.
That's what they scared of. That's what they don't want. That's why they don't want black men to have guns. That's why they created Jim Crow laws, so you can easily have felonies like the 13th Amendment that say slavery is abolished until you commit a crime. That means until.
Right.
That means it didn't go away.
Right.
So until we ready to talk about total liberation, we can't talk about that until we rectify and get that 13th Amendment out of there.
Okay, so that's what y'all brought to the table.
That's what we fight for. That's what we fight for. We fight for, like I said, education to liberate our minds. The moment you take away guns from Americans, you are subject to slavery at any point of time. Jim Crow laws was only about slavery. There is no laws. There's only 2 laws. If I hurt you, I broke the law. If I damage your property, I broke the law. Anything else underneath that is a policy. That's a policy. You get pulled over and you say you're supposed to drive and click your blinker 100 feet away from something. That's not a law. Right. That's a policy.
Right.
And a policy for you to go give some money to the court so America can pay off debt that they owe.
Right.
We're debtors.
This shit thick.
We debtors.
Man, and then they just distract us with just keeping us fighting against each other.
Yeah.
So we don't have time to even worry about that, man. I got kids, man. I got to fight for. I got to feed, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know half the things that you saying, bro. Real talk. I ain't had the time to pay attention to. And I know I speak for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wage slavery.
You're right.
Now that you want to
until
job,
they kick your door in.
Yeah.
Until they kick your door in and say, "Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come talk to me." Then you
Yeah.
start feeling like then you got to figure out why.
Yeah.
And
You got to
then
figure out why, what you doing it for. You doing it
then
for
a
the
star's
people who
born.
playing.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's how it is. You know what I mean?
I was talking to you in the social media world, and you were saying
Yeah.
something about church, and
Yeah.
you don't go to church. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but I didn't take the time to even break it down. So my instinct was like, oh, you don't believe in God, and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I can't wait to get him to have a conversation about that.
It's been a long time coming for this conversation.
Yeah, for
especially
sure.
on the platform.
For sure.
You know. So my perspective on that is, I started at the beginning. How I got enlightened, because you asked me how you get this information. I got it from two people that I'm not gonna name and stuff, but they know who they are. Because at some point of time, I was just like anybody else, and I felt that whenever I needed something that was supposed to be a spiritual thing or a euphoric feeling for me, or when I'm feeling low, they taught you to do something. When you feeling happy, give that to something. And I felt like when I did have to do that, I had to go to church. When I was in trouble, I was like, I said, Jesus is working on me. And I say, somebody is working on me. Or if I need to go, what happened when you drink too much? God, I swear I ain't gonna drink again. You sit at that white porcelain toilet playing to that white porcelain God, like they say in Minister Society.
Righteous.
You know what I'm saying?
Righteous,
So
I get it.
you was like, how many times I say I'm not? And you was like, God, I swear if you just let me, let the stomach ache go, I'm not going. You know what I mean? So you want to take whatever is hurting you, whatever's making you feel good, to go give that to some, or go get that euphoric feeling because you have somebody's preach to you and tell you words that's uplifting you, making you feel good, and you're singing and everything else. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying people are still looking. That's for me, that you're looking to be a part of something. Our people are dying and strive to look to be a part of something, almost to the point of failure.
Righteous.
We will be a part of something even if we know it's going to fail.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep going with this point, but just look at the 6ix9ine thing.
Yeah, for sure.
People want to be a part of that shit even if they know the ship is going down.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
like, with that now, I did start going against it because once I came into the understanding of how it was used, why I was doing it, I realized I was a sheep because I wasn't following the real stuff. For instance, example, anybody out there, if you are celebrating Christmas and you are only talking about doing it with presents, and you're not talking about when Jesus was born, whether it was in the winter solstice or the summer solstice, because I give you a hint right there, research that. Or you talking about he was announced by the three kings. Did three wise men really come out? Or are you talking about Orion's belt, which is known as the three kings, that is an astrological sign and symbol? So you have to understand these people. They brainwashed us. You got to start thinking of astrological stuff. So they start telling me these things, right? These two brothers, and they start telling me about metaphysics, the beginning of certain things, and stuff that I just didn't know. And I started researching stuff, and the more I realized I was just walking something that we are taught to do traditionally. Because celebrating the 4th of July, we either do it because we've been forced to do it, or we're going to do it because traditionally we've been voting, right? Like even voting. They said we're fought for a right to vote, but they fought for a right to vote or not vote. They didn't say you had to, but traditionally we should be voting. Traditionally, we follow Christmas, but we don't talk about his announcement, his day, or whatever. We only concerned about the Christmas tree and the presents. We don't even know what the Christmas tree even really means in the Bible. So if you're doing it for that, I believe that you're doing it for the wrong reason, and it's my job to go against you, even if you don't like it. I want you to think. And I want you to take that in. So when I start realizing these things, I realized I was a slave. I was slave mentality. I didn't understand why. If the slave master tell you all this stuff, you better worship, you're going to worship, you're not going to question. Then they tell you can't read on it, so you don't know about the tree. You can't read the Bible. The only thing you gave, you had a nigga gave it to you. You had a black man give it to you so he could control you. So when I realized these things, that's when I start saying that Organized religion ain't for me. And once I put down the Bible, that's when real life started hitting me. I started realizing God is omnipotent. God is all around me. I had people tell me, Christians tell me, if you don't follow Jesus, then you going to hell. I ain't raped nobody. I ain't killed nobody. I ain't did nothing from nobody. I don't steal from nobody. How you going to tell me that I'm going to go to hell?
Righteous.
Because I don't believe in your deity, not your God, because there's only one God. But your deity and your representation of what is a positive energy is Jesus. Jesus in the J is about 500 to 800 years old. His name wasn't even Jesus, but you call him Jesus. So you still, if you still say that name, you still follow underneath the white doctrine. His name was Yahshua or Yahweh. So let's talk about the real person of who he was. Let's talk about who he was in the Bible. Was he an Israelite or was he a Moor? These are our books. We're not going to keep talking about was he European or not. That's the picture that's on the walls.
Right.
But that's still the picture that y'all keep referring to. So if you do that, you're identifying with it.
Righteous.
Everybody other God look like them. What does the Buddha look like? Look like a little fat little Asian person.
Righteous.
Krishna looked like a Indian person. What is the symbol for our black God in America?
We don't have one.
We don't have one. So why would I still follow that and still say, and if you are not willing to change that in the church, why am I still going to follow this?
Right.
You know what I mean? That was just my thing. And then I start
That's a
digging
good
into
thing.
like,
That's a good thing. I'm
How?
thinking. I can't even stop the camera.
you should have to ask your pastor these things, and and hold them accountable to that.
I mean, I feel similar to you, bro. I'm in my 40s, bro. I'm in the second chapter of life, right? I got that same understanding from a different angle, and I don't denounce anything. I still follow the Christianity doctrine, but I don't follow
Because it's
none of the
African.
traditional stuff.
Because it's African. You following stuff that you know makes sense to you.
Yeah. I haven't been, once I get, once I find a reason to not, I ain't scared. I ain't scared to
Let that part go.
Right.
That's what I did.
Man, so I don't celebrate holidays. I don't celebrate
That's
no
what I did.
traditional holidays.
Yeah.
The only thing I celebrate my wife's birthday or a birthday.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, Independence Day, I ain't independent from nothing.
We wasn't independent in 1776 anyway. That
what
wasn't
am I
even our
independent
shit.
from? They just killed another black man just recently and a chick got 10.
Yeah.
And
That
hugs.
part.
She went out with hugs.
That
and
part.
kisses.
That,
Okay?
She gonna get her job back. They waiting to give her job back. They just let her
Absolutely.
go with that much love. He said he
Or
didn't
she'll
want her
make
to
some
do it.
money out of it. She'll get out and tell a story.
She gonna get out and tell a story, get a book
Absolutely.
deal, get some millions. She gonna probably even do out of that, do like 2 to 3 or maybe even 5. You know what I mean? So she'll be out.
She'll get credit for good times, sir. They got some things in other states.
And
man.
damn near
She'll-
come out as a hero.
Right.
Because she
Absolutely.
survived it.
And she hugged on everybody. She didn't go out and bitter. She took her 10 on the chin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But man,
Yeah, man.
I love having you here, bro. You welcome back anytime, anywhere, any station, anywhere I'm at, bro. I gotta sit down with you often because you got knowledge, man.
Hey, man, that's
You know
what
I'm
it's
saying?
about, bro. It's about knowledge, man. We gotta let our
You gotta
people
start
know.
empowering the people,
You
bro.
gotta start empowering the people, and it starts with platforms like your brother. So I say hats off to you because you're creating a platform for when people like myself that got this knowledge. Because a lot of times people don't want to take it from somebody who they feel they're connected to. Just like children sometimes don't listen to their parents, but they listen to a
Absolutely.
coach of their basketball team a little bit more. Because mom and dad tripping.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I asked
That's real
David,
life.
brother David Banner, when he came here, it's like, bro, I just said the same thing about the Moors and everything else. And people in Portland was on my page, and even about Jesus. You know what I mean? And people on my page was like, was you crazy? You going against Jesus and everything? You know what I mean? Like, I rattled their world, but I get it though. I rattled your world because my world was rattled.
Absolutely.
It was
rattled.
shooken.
I'm a talker, bro.
It was
I'm
shooken.
very limited conversation today.
Your foundation is shaking, and like I said, if I tell you that your parents ain't your parents, scientifically wise and by school wise, they tell you a man and woman make baby, and you tell me that these two people ain't, then I have to question my own identity and my own existence at this point. So when you telling people I gotta take away or this ain't the religion, or you understand it from a different way, that means their foundation is being shook. Their whole existence is being shook. Why am I here now? But we had gods. You just gotta search for them. We had deities. You gotta search for them. Search for the meaning of the Christmas tree, and when you find this information, I promise you're gonna find yourself.
Right.
And you'll find the
That's
God
huge.
in you.
That's huge.
It's easy to kill a nigga.
Yes.
Because I see somebody who look like me that if I hate myself, then I have no value in you. But if I recognize the God in myself, I don't care what gang member, what person did something Monday, you still pray to God. You still have a God being that you pray to. And a lot of people, for most part, say that, well, if I'm a killer, he good to me.
Man.
My family ain't gonna hurt me.
Man.
So you know how to be good, but you got wrapped up in bad things and shit. You know what I mean? So you find the God in yourself, it's hard to kill a God. I see the God in me, so that means I have to see the God in you.
Absolutely.
I can't kill God.
Absolutely.
The gangster's nigga can't kill God.
Righteous.
He ain't gonna do that. So I have to recognize the God in myself, and that's when you start studying more of this Bible. You start realizing that they're talking about you. That's your book.
Righteous.
So I don't go against Jesus no more, but
Right.
I go against that religion that's gonna keep perpetuating, because a lot of people don't know that pastors have to get processed through like the Pope and the Roman Catholic, everything else. So there's guidelines of what they can and cannot talk about. You'll be ignorant to sit up here and think that that's not a fact if you know that black teachers can't go in there talking about Nat Turner. Talk about Nat Turner in a white school, still ran by these people. Go ahead and talk about Queen and Zinga. See what happened. You be off that position so quick. You gonna teach a whole bunch of white kids that this black man killed a whole bunch of people and their babies to liberate himself, not to I just want to do it like some
Right.
active shooter type
Right.
shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But to liberate his people and let's get free. If we've realized for us to get free, how we got to get free is that we might have to spill some blood, and we can't be concerned about whose blood it is, because them babies will grow up to rule our babies.
Absolutely.
Then that baby's got to go. That's what's his mentality. You can't judge him for it, because back then it was either do it or you not. You either gonna get free or you not. And how you got to get free, man? You gotta get ready to go.
I don't understand slavery. I don't understand what happened because we.
How you gonna do
Sheesh.
what to me?
Man.
Oh, you gonna have to kill me in the worst way, because I promise you.
Right. None of us is going.
I seem like they kind of
None
just
of us
like
is going.
nah.
Man,
No.
bro, I got a mound of new respect for you, bro. I mean, I've been knowing you forever. We grew up together, bro. But
Yeah.
bro, you empowered me, bro, and I hope my people is empowered today. Like you definitely got me. I want to rush, man. Leave me with some literature that I can go, do some movement on. Cause bro, you talking like I'm talking. As far as the religion, for sure, man. You inspired the room.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey,
Black
I'm
power,
so
black
sincere.
power.
Like, so
Yeah.
I need to know for people that want to get started, bro, that don't have a clue, right? How can they start, bro? How can they start? What do you suggest? You know, when you woke up, what was your first move?
My first move, I'll give you one of the links that I got. It was a brother that was a Christian, and he was a pastor. And maybe some of y'all might know him by his name. But then he switched to Kemetic beliefs, which is Kemetic was the first one of the names of Egypt. Kemet means it's the land of the blacks. His name is Dr. Ray Haggins. Dr. Ray Haggins' series on YouTube was a black man that was totally indoctrinated into the Christianity world and church, and was a pastor. And then he got conscious to, wait a minute, I've been teaching it the wrong way.
Righteous.
And then he said, I bring it back like, this is black. This is our book. Let me teach you the black way. Because I know, like you said, some things when I sat through church, it didn't make sense to me. And it just, I don't know why it didn't make sense.
It just didn't make
It
sense.
didn't make sense.
Hello.
Because one thing that America like to say, like, I don't know if I've spoken this before, is that America like to say that it's only one race, it's the human race. That's not true. There's HUE, the human race, and then there's the subhuman race, right? So when I realized that this book was being taught from a different way, and Dr. Ray Haggins taught me this, he taught it from a black Afrocentric point of view, and then it made sense. So I could no longer go against Jesus, because I realized I was talking about my people, but I had to realize the information I got was wrong.
Right.
It had to be erased for me to get there. So Dr. Ray Haggins is a good thing, good way. And then every single Hidden Colors series that you can get. The 5th one just came out.
It's called the Hidden
Colors.
Hidden Colors.
Hidden Colors, 1 through 5.
1 through 5.
You know what I mean? By Tariq Nasheed, brother Tariq Nasheed, man. This thing will break down religion to a decimal, to how we got it, why we got it, what we doing with it today, the people who understand it and the people who don't understand it today. From there, I would say get with an organization, research, find some people, black community of Portland. I don't care if it's the Israelites. I don't care if it's the Moors. I don't care if it's the Black Panthers, New Black Panther Party. Get with a grassroots organization that's going to give you some information. Because even if you don't believe in their whole ideology, you can take what you need to take it to somewhere
Just
else.
like religion.
Just like religion. And pull out of it, and then you will find who you're supposed to be, or at least these groups are empowering you and your family
absolutely
with this information.
Absolutely. So do you guys meet?
Yes, we do meet.
Okay.
Every first of the month from 5:30 to 7:30, we meet at Russellville Grange. Food is provided. That's the Black community of Portland. This community members come out. We talk about these type of situations, these type of things.
I'm in there.
Much.
I'm in the social media with y'all, but I never really paid attention.
Oh yeah, we go in.
I just use it as a marketing tool. So shout out to them, man. I'm gonna have to pull up on y'all.
Yeah, pull up on us. You know, and then the Black Rydahs, we meet every third Sunday of the month, either at a Go Hard Fitness. Shout out to Jermaine Hankins, Go Hard Fitness, and we get in there. We do some hand-to-hand combat. So you're welcome to come in there and get some hand-to-hand combat. We go through political education as well.
Okay.
So you come in there, get some game, how I'm talking today, and then you go through some self-defense stuff. So that way you know you get some fighting, but you also know why you fighting. Absolutely. I can't teach you to fight if you don't know why you fighting.
Right.
You just become anarchist.
Right.
You know?
I love it, bro. I'm really curious, man, because it just blows my mind that, you know, once people get knowledge, we still, because hidden colors, I've heard about all those situations before, and then people grasp the knowledge, and then they still praying to the, you know, the traditional way. Like, why you think that? Why is that, bro? I'm dumbfounded because I ain't know this. I never read Hidden Colors. I never heard of the you know, the gentleman that you said. I'm the type of cat. Once you teach me, bro, it's over. I'll become the teacher.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's what we're supposed to do. You know,
there's no
that's the meaning about
scary.
each one teach one. And
absolutely,
I am because we are, and we are because I am. You know what I mean?
Sir.
I can only be Ogun because EA is EA. EA is gonna only be EA because Ogun is Ogun.
Absolutely,
and we need each other as brothers and stuff to build off of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be successful if you can't be. That's how we need to look at things. But the reason why people want to be and still following, not even really religion doctrines, they still following white supremacy, one is because they're taught, you know, in a Eurocentric ideology type of way. They taught you that Santa Claus is going to slide down a black chimney and come his ass out white. They still taught you that black is bad for funerals and white is for weddings. You got a great white shark, but you got a killer whale, and the killer whale is black. You're still following underneath the same doctrines. And two, Negroes want to be slaves. They want somebody that is, Negroes in America want somebody that is above them. They feel that it's a classism above them to tell them how to act, how and what to still do, because we have never been taught to be independent. So it's scary for us to be independent.
And you say
mean
us.
Tell me us. Because I'm included.
Absolutely.
I don't separate myself from the people. I just know a little bit more.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm in tune a little bit more because I chose to let go of religion. I choose to become a critical thinking.
So it is
very scary.
I can dig it. I dig it.
It's very scary.
I dig it.
You know what I'm saying? If we know the 13th Amendment say, you know, slavery is abolished until you commit a crime, then why are we still committing crimes? You're telling me you want to be a slave.
Analyze this topic at gmail.com. People, this was inspiring. I don't know if you inspired, but I'm reading tomorrow. I got something to do. I want to thank all my new subscribers. I want to thank everyone that supports EA and Analyze This. Thanks for being part of the discussion. I just love everybody. You want to support me? Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you just seek out where we are. Hello.
Hello there.
Duh. People. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Let's go.